at 229,000. Number one, nothing to see here, folks. That is a normal number. It is a very low number historically until we get above 250,000 in jobless claims or people filing for unemployment. There's really nothing to even be concerned about with the labor market. Now, that flies in the face of what Jerome Powell has said recently, which is very interesting. But again, jobless claims are people filing for unemployment, and historically, anything in the 220s, 230s, even 240s is really no sign of a labor market slowdown, and that is something we want to pay attention to. Now, the bigger news today was GDP. GDP, the second reading for second quarter GDP coming in at 3.3%, and that was stronger than the 3% estimate. So I would just pose this question to you guys. Should the Fed be cutting with the economy as strong as it is? You can see the futures tumbling on the back of Nvidia earnings. Now, Nvidia earnings, for the most part, they were okay. But remember, when you have a stock that is at all-time highs, that's $4.5 trillion, that has led the market up, okay doesn't cut it. Okay? And so what we saw was they missed slightly on their data center revenue, and then they talked about China a little bit and so on and so forth, and the stock initially tumbled. Now, it has come back. Why? Because we are seeing this insatiable buy the dip mentality and never go down market. Now, when you get in that type of market, it generally is the last portion of the market, and the technicals continue to point to a potential down move coming. But Nvidia right now, basically around the flat line, barely negative. Now, this is going to be a potential trade for me, though. I am looking to short Nvidia at the open historically, and we can flip over to the Nvidia chart. A lot of times what you'll see is a stock kind of grind up from the early morning lighter volume. And then once the market opens, the institutions use that to sell into, and you might see it come down. Now, Snowflake had remarkably good earnings. Look at this little area right here that I annotated on the chart or drew on the chart. It was right here at this 230 level. I want to show you why that level was so important. And look at how price is already pulling back on Snowflake. And if we flip over to the daily chart, look at this, guys. Zoom out. There's a gap fill right there at 230, right here. See this huge gap right there? Monster gap on Snowflake. And today, or in the pre-market, we filled the gap, and you're already seeing price come back in a little bit off of that. Now, the level, this is a zone. And I put zones in when you have a major level here and then you have a double top. You know, you basically this is a range. And so this is from 230 to 238. Again, you know, on a $200 stock, an $8 move is nothing crazy, but this is where you would expect major resistance on Snowflake today as a day trade. I'm sure we'll be watching and potentially trading this in the live day trading room. So Netflix daily chart, you can see I've already have it annotated off because I've looked at this chart quite often. And what we can see here is there's an upsloping ascending trend line that is support on Netflix. Now, if this line breaks on Netflix at around 1210, you would see pretty much a quick drop, probably within a week or two, to about 1100. 1100 will be your next support. But again, you can see how on the upside, when Netflix was rallying, it kept on coming to this line and getting rejected. Finally, the rejection was a much larger rejection. Now we're getting a little bit of a bounce. Notice these two trend lines, these ascending trend lines, are almost parallel as well. But again, suffice it to say, right now it's holding support around this 1210 level, which gives it maybe a near-term upside move to gap fill at 1275. But at any time, if it breaches and confirms below this 1210 level, it should start heading down pretty quickly to about 1100. So number one, I've accumulated a watch list over time. Number two, when I wake up, there's a routine that I go through, and it's a very simple routine. I don't reinvent the wheel. Basically, what I do is I first grab my phone. Half my eyes are like half open. You know how it is in the morning, and I look through. Like what's moving, what's in my portfolio, is anything up big or up down, and then I flip on CNBC. And listen, I don't watch CNBC for the information. What I watch is the ticker at the bottom. The ticker at the bottom, if there's anything that's trading, if anything's moving big in the pre-market, chances are there's volume there and it's going across the ticker. And so I'll see like, Nvidia's trading. Oh, Nvidia's only down $1 at this point or whatever. Okay, no big deal. I pass on it. Say, okay, I'll look at that later in the day. Then I look at, okay, wow, look at this. Snowflake's having a monster move. Okay, that mentally on my watch list. on my mental watch list, right?